The first time Cadet Mara Hale walked through the gates of Vanguard Orbital Academy, every conversation around her slowed by a fraction of a second. No one greeted her. No one smiled. They simply watched. She had expected it. Earth had only joined the coalition 17 years earlier. Humanity's reputation had spread faster than its diplomats ever could. Every official briefing described humans as ambitious, adaptable, and stubborn. Every unofficial story described something far different. Deathworlders, creatures born beneath crushing gravity, poisonous ecosystems, violent weather, predatory animals, contagious microbes, and natural disasters that most civilized species considered impossible. Most coalition citizens had never met a human. Most hoped they never would. Mara ignored the stares. She was taller than many of the cadets, but not enormous. Her brown hair had been trimmed short for academy regulations. A narrow scar crossed one eyebrow, a reminder of climbing cliffs near the Pacific settlements when she was 13. She carried one duffel over her shoulder and another case filled with engineering tools. Someone whispered, "That's the human." Another voice answered, "They actually sent one." Mara kept walking. She had trained for this moment since childhood. Her father had served aboard Earth's first coalition exploration ship. Her mother had designed rescue drones for disaster zones. Neither had wanted their daughter joining the military academy, but neither had tried to stop her. "If you go," her father had told her before departure, "remember that you'll spend every day representing more than yourself." She remembered every word. The academy itself floated above the pale blue gas giant Arctis 7, suspended inside a ring nearly 40 kilometers across. Massive transparent sections overlooked the swirling atmosphere below, while thousands of training craft moved between docking spires. Everything gleamed. Everything looked impossibly expensive. Everything looked breakable. An instructor waited beside the orientation hall. Commander Ellis. One eye was artificial, glowing faintly silver. His uniform displayed enough campaign ribbons to silence even the loudest recruits. He looked directly at Mara. "So," he said. "So, the famous human." She nodded once. "The only one." He stared for several seconds before speaking again. "Follow me." Inside, nearly 300 cadets occupied ascending rows surrounding a central platform. Mara quickly noticed something unusual. Every species clustered together. Tall blue-skinned Kethans occupied one section. Four-armed Bryn cadets filled another. Feathered Lauren students perched on elevated seating. Only one chair remained empty. By itself. Commander Ellis pointed. "There." No explanation. No apology. She walked toward it while hundreds of eyes followed. The nearest cadets subtly leaned away. Someone muttered, "I heard humans can bite through bone." Another replied, "I heard they enjoy fighting." A third whispered, "I heard they survive vacuum." Mara almost laughed. The rumors had become truly ridiculous. Commander Ellis activated the central display. "Welcome to Vanguard Academy." His voice echoed through the chamber. "Most of you will fail." Silence. Some will resign. More silence. A few will graduate. He looked around slowly. Those few will command coalition fleets, negotiate peace, prevent wars, or end them. The hologram shifted into a map of coalition space. You were selected because each of you excelled. The map disappeared. "Forget that." Several cadets frowned. "Here, talent only earns you admission." His artificial eye settled briefly on Mara. Nothing else. Orientation lasted 3 hours. Academy regulations. Emergency procedures. Training schedules. Failure consequences. Then came physical assessment. An instructor wearing black combat armor addressed them. Every species has different biological standards. Large machines rose from the floor. Your results will be normalized. Cadets moved station by station. Strength. Endurance. Reaction speed. Balance. Flexibility. Respiratory efficiency. Mara noticed curious glances as technicians adjusted settings. One technician frowned at her chart. Human gravity. Another checked twice. 1.0 standard. The first technician blinked. Seriously? He recalibrated the equipment. That can't be right. It is. Testing began. A Kethan cadet lifted nearly 400 kilograms. Applause followed. A Bryn sprinted faster than any recorded academy time. More applause. A Lauren balanced across moving beams with astonishing grace. Then Mara approached the strength platform. A thick metallic frame surrounded weighted handles connected to force sensors. The technician looked uncertain. You don't have to overexert yourself. She smiled politely. I won't. Ready? Ready. She gripped the handles. The machine beeped. Pull. She pulled. Metal screamed. The technician stared. The display flashed red. Warning symbols covered the screen. One hydraulic arm snapped clean off. The handle remained in Mara's hand. Silence filled the room. She looked at the broken equipment. Sorry. Nobody answered. Commander Ellis examined the destroyed machine before turning toward another instructor. Bring industrial equipment. The instructor hesitated. Sir. Industrial. 5 minutes later, they rolled in a cargo loading strength tester normally used for freight containers. Mara looked embarrassed. The technician reset the sensors. You may begin. She pulled again. This machine survived. Barely. The digital scale climbed beyond expected ranges. Several instructors exchanged silent looks. One finally cleared his throat. Record complete. No applause. Only stunned silence. The endurance trial proved worse. Cadets ran through a variable gravity track. Different lanes adjusted automatically to match each species' homeworld. Mara's lane remained at Earth standard. She settled into a comfortable pace. After 20 minutes, she realized something strange. Cadets ahead of her were collapsing. Medical drones floated down. One by one, runners stopped. The instructor checked his timer. Continue. Mara continued. 30 minutes. 40. An hour. Finally, Commander Ellis stepped onto the track. Cadet. She slowed. Yes, sir. You can stop. I thought the test wasn't finished. It was. When? 43 minutes ago. She blinked. Oh. Nearby cadets stared as though watching a machine disguised as a person. Whispers spread throughout the facility before evening. The human had broken academy equipment. The human could run forever. The human came from a planet trying to kill everything living on it. By dinner, the rumors had become legends. Mara entered the dining hall carrying her tray. Conversations quieted. Every table appeared full. Except one. Again. She sighed. At least the chair existed. Halfway through eating, someone sat across from her. Not because the table was crowded. Because they chose to. The newcomer resembled no species Mara recognized. Gray skin. Golden eyes. Slim build. Calm expression. I am Nico. Mara. I know. Silence lingered. Then Nico pointed toward her plate. You consume remarkable quantities. She looked down. Training metabolism. I have read about humans. I'm sorry. Nico smiled faintly. The reports were contradictory. They usually are. I wish to observe personally. Mara appreciated the honesty. Have I disappointed you? No. Nico studied her for a moment. You appear ordinary. Thanks. I meant it as a compliment. Before Mara could answer, another cadet approached. Broad shoulders. Dark green scales. Cold yellow eyes. He stopped beside their table. So. Neither looked up. So, Mara replied. I expected someone larger. I get that a lot. You destroyed academy equipment. It was old. Several nearby cadets laughed nervously. The scaled cadet didn't. My name is Varek. Nice to meet you. It wasn't an introduction. I know. I wanted to see if the stories were true. And you smile too much. He leaned closer. I've fought Deathworld predators. Mara shrugged. I haven't. You are one. She finally looked directly into his eyes. No. He seemed disappointed by her calmness. You'll break eventually. Maybe. When you do, I'll be there. He walked away. Nico watched him leave. He dislikes uncertainty. I noticed. He also leads the top combat squad. I also noticed. You are not concerned? Mara returned to eating. I've met bullies before. Nico tilted his head. I don't believe he qualifies. What would you call him? A future problem. Training intensified immediately. Morning simulations. Engineering drills. Zero-gravity maneuvering. Weapons theory. Fleet command exercises. Mara excelled in engineering and navigation, but struggled with coalition tactical doctrine. Human strategy emphasized improvisation. Coalition doctrine valued precision. Commander Ellis criticized her repeatedly. You solved the scenario. Yes, sir. You violated 14 protocols. Yes, sir. You endangered 3 virtual fleets. They survived. Barely. They still survived. He stared. You think like a pirate. I think like someone trying not to lose. Days became weeks. Most cadets gradually accepted the human's presence. Some even admired her. Others remained cautious. Varek remained openly hostile. Whenever combat exercises paired cadets, he requested Mara. Every request was denied. The Academy prohibited direct combat between incompatible species until advanced medical evaluations concluded. Apparently, no one knew how durable humans truly were, or how dangerous. The answer arrived sooner than expected. It happened during obstacle training. Cadets navigated a rotating maintenance complex while simulated hull breaches triggered randomly. Mara climbed ahead through narrowing corridors when alarms suddenly changed tone. Not simulation. Real. Red lights flashed. Emergency bulkheads began descending. Instructors shouted through speakers. Evacuate immediately. A maintenance explosion had ruptured a plasma conduit beneath the course. Fire erupted through ventilation shafts. One collapsing platform struck a Bryn cadet named Leto. The heavy beam pinned all four arms. Everyone else kept running. Training dictated survival first. Rescue teams would arrive. Mara heard him scream. She stopped. Smoke thickened. Warning displays flashed structural failure. Leto struggled helplessly beneath several tons of reinforced alloy. Move, he shouted. You'll be trapped. She ignored him. The beam wouldn't budge. At least not normally. She planted both feet. Took a breath. Lifted. Metal groaned. The beam rose centimeters. Leto stared. What are you? Move. He pulled himself free. The instant he cleared, Mara shoved the beam aside. It crashed across the corridor. The impact shook the structure. The emergency door began closing 50 meters away. Too far. They ran. Heat chased them. Fire consumed the ceiling. The blast door dropped. Leto wouldn't make it. His shorter legs couldn't keep pace. Mara grabbed him under two arms. Lifted him entirely. Ran harder. The gap beneath the door shrank. 1 meter. Half. 20 centimeters. She dove. Both slid beneath the closing barrier. The door slammed behind them. Silence. Leto remained speechless. Dozens of cadets watched. One whispered. She carried him. Another answered. That's impossible. Commander Ellis arrived moments later. His expression remained unreadable. Medical. Drones surrounded Leto. Ellis looked at Mara. You ignored evacuation procedures. Yes, sir. You re-entered a danger zone. Yes, sir. You disobeyed direct orders. Yes, sir. Long silence. Then he nodded once. Dismissed. No punishment followed. No explanation. But word spread through the Academy faster than any official report. The human had lifted a structural beam. The human had outrun an explosion carrying another cadet. Even those who doubted the story stopped laughing. Only Varek seemed irritated. During evening combat theory, he cornered Mara outside the simulator hall. You enjoyed showing off. She looked confused. I was trying to help. You wanted witnesses. No. You think rescue makes you superior. I think rescue keeps people alive. He stepped closer. You believe strength solves everything. I literally study engineering. His eyes narrowed. You hide behind jokes. I like jokes. I don't. I noticed. For the first time his composure cracked. You think we're weak. I've never said that. You don't have to. She sighed. What exactly do you want? The truth. Fine. She met his stare without anger. I don't think you're weak. Then what? I think you're scared. Silence. His jaw tightened. Of me? No. She shook her head. Of finding out that everything you've heard about humans isn't true. He stared for several long seconds before walking away without another word. Nico, who had apparently witnessed everything from the corridor, joined her. That was dangerous. What part? The honesty. She smiled. I've never been very good at diplomacy. You may wish to improve. Probably. Nico looked through the observation window into space. The Academy changes people. I know. It also reveals them. Mara followed Nico's gaze toward the endless stars. I hope that's enough. Neither noticed the security camera rotating silently toward them. Far away inside the Academy's restricted command deck, an unknown observer replayed Mara's rescue 3 times. Then zoomed in, frame by frame, watching muscles move beneath human skin, watching impossible force calculations, watching structural alloy bend. A single sentence appeared on the private display. Potential military asset confirmed. Immediately below it, another message arrived. Acquisition authorized.